Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Friday, the 28th of August. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we're going to talk about St Petersburg bomb has killed a Russian soldier. I think it was a general. The 9/11 mastermind is going to be on trial, maybe? And Trump has renamed Lake Ontario to Lake America. So firstly, a bomb blast in St. Petersburg killed a Russian soldier in a latest series of attacks targeting on military personnel inside Russia. Investigators opened a terrorism case on suspicion again fell on Ukrainian-linked networks operating on Russian soil. The killing extends a pattern of assassinations and sabotage that has reached deep inside Russian cities since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So what? Well, firstly, this is a very clean and clear assassination to me. It seems almost certain that this will be linked to Ukrainian intelligence or affiliated networks who were operating inside of Russia. Further attacks on Russian military figures, such as this man, who was reportedly like a lieutenant general, so a pretty high-ranking person inside of Russia, are likely in the coming months. It's becoming quite clear that, Ukraine is managing and running a pretty sophisticated and effective team of assassins and intelligence personnel within Russia. The Kremlin will likely use the bombing to justify further domestic security measures, both to protect high-ranking officials and to crack down on any further dissent against the war. And next, a US military judge has set a trial date for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the alleged architect of the September 11th attacks, more than 2 decades after the plot. The Guantanamo Bay case has been mired for years and pre-trial fights over torture-tainted evidence and legitimacy of the military commission system. A collapsed plea deal has left prosecutors pursuing a capital trial that has repeatedly stalled out. So what? Just firstly, how the fuck has this still not happened? Like, this guy's been in Guantanamo Bay for years now. It seems crazy that he's, being held without trial. I mean, no one can do anything about it because it's the US, but it is still pretty mental that, there's not even been an attempt to charge him. But then also, charging him is going to be extremely difficult because getting evidence that he did anything, from the mountain ranges of Afghanistan into a courtroom in the US or at Guantanamo Bay as it is going to be extremely difficult. It's similar to like Maduro's trial, right? It's going to be very hard to get good evidence that can, get the high bar of control and like all those good things that courtrooms require. I'm forgetting the names of them right now, which, is great for an early morning. I think the trial is highly likely to face further delays given unresolved disputes over the evidence obtained through torture. Unsurprising and good. You shouldn't be torturing people. That's bad. A capital conviction that survives any appeal is unlikely, given the Commission's troubled record. I do believe a capital conviction means they would execute him. So yeah, pretty crazy. And lastly, President Trump has signed an order renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America, extending his campaign of unilateral geographical name changes on official US maps. Lake Ontario is a shared body of water bordering the Canadian province of Ontario, giving the move direct implications for relations with Ottawa. The order follows the earlier renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America and lands amid already strained US-Canadian ties. So what? To me, this is just a silly move that Trump has done to make himself look better, and it's just increasing tensions with Canada and hurting soft power more. Canada will almost certainly reject the renaming of it and continue to use Lake Ontario, as will most of the world. The move is likely to further inflame US-Canadian tensions over sovereignty and trade. It's like he's going out of his way to try and destroy the historic relationships that the US have. It just seems crazy, but hey. Anyway, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. On Monday.